Hi guys, this is Dr. Scott Young, and today I want to do a kind of a shorter one. I'm not going to do that long of one here. I talked a while ago and flamed left and right that Rosh Hashanah 2023 was not going to be the day that Jesus would come back. And people were like, "You're wrong." And they were freaking out with us. And I was like, listen, Rosh Hashanah is closely tied to Yom Kippur. What was Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah is the crowning of the king. It is not the day that Jesus comes back for his the bride of Christ. It isn't. Now, I believe it is a rapture, but it is a different rapture, and that is a different conversation. Okay, you can get into my rapture series that my whole Hope in the Last Days series that will talk a lot about this. Okay, there are raptures in the Bible. Okay, they're fascinating. They're called harpazo. That is the Greek word for that. Okay, but let's not get off onto that topic because it gets really off and crazy with that. But let's talk a little bit about Yom Kippur, or Yom Kippur, whichever way you want to say it. I know you're gonna, oh, you said it wrong. Like, calm down, okay? I know you want to get mad at me because you get mad at me when I say calm down too. But let's just kind of talk a little bit about that. Yom Kippur is a really powerful day. It is the Day of Atonement. It is the final part of New Year. Now, I know a lot of people want to say Rosh Hashanah is the New Year. It's the beginning. It's where you have to get right with the Lord, number one, and you have to get right with your friends and family members and enemies, actually, too. But now you have that 10 days to get right with the other people. That's actually why I believe that the NESARA thing is really important. We need to get this thing right. I think there's a mirroring effect right now. Do you guys kind of get it? There's a mirroring effect that's happening in the background that we're trying to make things right. I don't ever believe NESARA is about making things fair. I think it's about making things just. There's a difference between fair and just. We're turning off the sieve that has been pipelining out to the sickos, okay, to the elite, the sicko elite. They call themselves the elite, but they're really pond scum. They're the stuff that you look on the pond and you go, that really is the gross part of the pond, not the pretty part. Okay. Secondarily, what we're really dealing with on Yom Kippur is that it's the holiest day of the Jewish New Year. It's the day that if you're not right with the world, you don't go to the next part of the year, and that's why I think it's a really powerful time for that potential part of the EBS. I'm not saying the EBS is going to happen then. I don't really care if it happens to that or not. I mean, I'm not because I'm not a person. I'm not a prophet. I'm a teacher. I want you to understand teachers focus on what words mean. Teachers, expound upon words, upon topics, where prophets take what the words of God or things, and they kind of put things together. So that's how they look at it. Sorry, my camera likes to move around here. I have a 360 camera that likes to move. And I'm just not a prophet. I mean, but prophets and teachers, they kind of play in the same sandbox, but they don't really like to play with each other. They like to play in the same sandbox, and they look at each other and they like to throw rocks at one another. So they're not real like friendly with one another in that way. So they're just not real great with one another. Sometimes there's prophets and teachers that are in the same body, and they're pretty like scary people. They're really kind of personalities. But when we talk about that, I would say that Yom Kippur could be a potential date. Um, but again, I would say the finality, the biblical finality that will actually happen in the real world, or the finality of the biblical point, um, would be in the end of the tribulation. Okay. The What would actually fulfill it will be the end of the tribulation. But it doesn't mean that there haven't been half dozen to a dozen different events in history that have been mirroring effects, okay, or types and shadows. I would love this NESARA EBS piece, or specifically maybe even the EBS, to be a type and shadow of the of Yom Kippur. I think that would be totally cool. So just a thought that just to kind of be thinking about, just kind of roll around in your head. Just think about that. What that would be. Um, Guys, don't just take my words for this. Go look up what Yom Kippur is. Don't look up what gets me real irritable when I see people looking up what Wikipedia says. Go research it yourself. If you're a patriot, you're researching what it really means. When we come up to a date, significant timeframes, you're a researcher. That's what you need to do. Don't just take what someone says. Like this Jason Sakura that was making up stuff and saying that things about the EBS, that the graphene oxide was going to come and kill off 50 million people. That is not the truth. That is a fake, false, lie from the pit of hell. No possible way that's going to happen. Okay? Thanks so much.